Stoneham at full forward.
Umpire Rowan Saws about to get the 91 preliminary final underway. Hooper contesting the opening bounce for the Cats. Turley looking for a quick touch. Bruns through with the boot that didn't connect. That's the Cats a chance to go up towards centre half forward. A long kick. Here comes Stoneham. Couldn't take the mark. McKenna rebounds with a sweeping hand pass off to Pike, who kicks up towards centre wing. He wants Heady. Forced to defend. Hooper again. The big man having a good start to the game with a couple of early touches. Lamb in trouble. Bairstow around his body towards Couch, who takes the mark on centre wing.
And Sandy, Geelong lined up with Stoneham at full forward and Burke at centre half forward. Brennan for the Eagles on the half forward line.
It nearly came off too, Stoneham dropping probably what he thought he may have taken. Up towards the 50-metre line. A good Shepherd gives Poole the chance. Poole's kick to the front of the square. The Shepherd was from Merriman. It stumped away, but there's a shepherding infringement against Stoneham. And the free kick will go to Jakovic, who... Would he be playing at fullback?
Yes, Ross? He's picking up Stoneham. Because Brennan's gone down to half forward. And the kick finds Waterman outside the 50-metre line. That kick goes in turn to the wing. It's there to be won. Spencer's punch on, but a free kick has been picked out of it from the previous marking contest. And it will go there to Heady. Heady's between half-back and centre wing. Short kick, Turley. And he did control it in the finish, even though it was down between his legs. Craig Turley awarded the mark just forward of the wing. He plays on quickly. Kicks it high towards half forward. Wilson behind, it's out of bounds on the full. So Neal will take the free kick for Geelong. At, well, it's probably between back pocket and half back flank. And this young man, 20 years of age, played a very good game for Geelong last week, kicking 3 goals. That's a shocking kick. It's picked off by Bruns. He gets a kick further around the wing. And it's vital seconds being wasted. But I would think that this would be a very low-scoring affair. Very difficult conditions here at Waverley today, after having 4 days of very, very steady rain.
Hooper with the right hand. Lamb tries to go off the ground. Steve Hocking close to the line and again over.
Sandy, Michael Malthouse is lined up in the conventional forward line with Sumich back to full forward, and actually McIntosh is running through at centre half forward.
Big day for McIntosh, just 18 years of age and a wonderful future ahead for him. Hooper again wins it, but straight down to Waterman. Flicks round his body towards Heady, and again seeing it over the line is Lamb. So another throw in with this gusty breeze going down the ground. The Eagles going with it. McIntosh and Hooper lock arms. Hocking caught. Spencer scouting. Hurried left foot kick, partly smothered. Down towards Steve Hocking. They're under pressure now. Brennan tries to get the hand pass away. His claim tapped defensively towards the line and over by Marty Christensen. One of the players to come in this week. And there's another, Robert Scott. Making his first run in the seniors since round 11, Scott. Bruns can't get an effective kick away on 2 occasions. Waterman asked the question, and again we'll have another ball up on the 50-metre line for the West Coast Eagles.
Bruns telling the umpire about the smack in the face he's already received.
He's a tough nut, Neville Bruns. Long kick by Pike in towards the forward line, the left forward pocket. It'll run over. Rogers has the big job today on Peter Sumich.
Sorry, Sandy. Andrew Buse picking up Chris Lewis.
Peter Sumich bringing up his ton last week, and that would have been great relief to him. McIntosh slipped Hocking through. He's a vital player for Geelong, is Hocking. Towards the half-back line, Michael Mansfield couldn't complete the mark. A chance for Worsfold now to pump the Eagles into attack once again. McIntosh spilled it. Holding though, and he'll take the free kick.
Yeah, Spencer there just a bit anxious to get through the footy. It was a bit of one of those ticky-touch with one, but it was there.
Ashley McIntosh has played just 15 games.
There it is, one holding on there, and then a second time.
He has the breeze at his back. Kicking from 26 metres. That is way to the left. But the first score of the day is a behind.
Gee, if the first 5 minutes are any indication, goals are going to be very, very hard to come by. Perhaps 10 or 12 goals will win the match. Rogers kicks into the near side, looking for Hooper with a bit of strength. Chance for Spencer. Short kick. Opportunity now for Poole, who played a terrific game last week against Hawthorn. Poole's kick to centre half forward. The drop punt's not bad. No mark taken. Geelong have got the crummers. It's Merriman. Stoneham's a chance, and he marks about 30 metres out directly in front.
Well loaded there by Russell Merriman too. Got to the full of the ball nice, and that kick around the body in his left foot, very purposeful. Stoneham in front.
Now Barry Stoneham is usually a fairly reliable kick for goal. So from straight in front, he should kick this, and he does. Straight through. Geelong get the first goal.
5 points the margin, favouring Geelong. Hooper goes at it again in the centre. Bruns at the bottom of the pack. Lewis trying to get through, so too Bairstow. He eventually scoops it out. Steve Hocking tries to thread one through. The tackle is a beauty. The ball spills free to Lamb. He can't do anything with it. Tremendous pressure out there. And another bounce.
Gee, that was good, wasn't it? 2 or 3 players could have got away there, but good tackles.
Just in Geelong's attacking zone. Ripped off it.
Yeah, definitely free kick.
He'll take it at centre back. To half forward, that ball sitting a little in the breeze. Burke in front, couldn't take the mark. Waterman at the back. Gets an awkward-looking kick that goes to a rather muddy section of the ground. Heady leading in the race for the ball, but he's under tremendous pressure. He's ripped off it. It spills free and goes over the line.
Interesting watching Chris Waterman there. He went to handball with the right hand and realised Heady was under a bit of pressure and decided he better kick quickly, and that's why it was an awkward right foot kick from the left footer.
Burke comes over to contest and wins it straight to Worsfold, who heads towards Chris Lewis. His recovery is excellent, but his kick is a poor one. Hooper will drop back across that half-back line. A long kick up towards the centre of the ground and hammered over the back. Again, Worsfold should be first to it. A defensive soccer. Bruns may keep it in. He does just. But pumps to a nest of Eagles, and the man to take it is Don Pike.
Pike is at half-back for the West Coast. Kicking with what Gerard has indicated could be a 5-goal breeze going to the left. Geelong are holding up early in this first quarter. Buse towards centre half forward. It's punched away. Back towards Couch. Gary Hocking caught. Gets the handball away. Burke picked up by Pike. Pike's kick back to the wing. Eagles 2-on-1, but Turley does it on his own and marks very positively over Bruns. Bruns trying to hold the play up, but Turley's able to get away. Gives the handball away to Waters. Waters' long kick is direct. To centre half forward. Could have nearly been against Neil. Advantage now with Sumich. A kick off the ground or go close to the goal line. Oh, it just rolls to the left and through for a behind to the West Coast. So Geelong lead 1 goal straight to 2 behinds.
And Robbo, Mike Malthouse has already moved Jakovic from Stoneham. McIntosh has gone back there with Jakovic going down to the centre half forward position. Trevor Spencer picking him up.
Rogers to the outer side. Kick again, dropping short, but players are able to anticipate it. High in towards Lamb. Could have been some holding on. Bairstow's had a wonderful start to this game, but that kick will let him down. Lockyer at half back. Goes back in towards the centre. Spencer defends. Turley trying to thread his way through to Dwayne Lamb from 55 metres. Lamb sets sail for goal, but he too is well off target and out of bounds on the full.
Yes, that breeze a bit deceiving from here. Looks as though it's going across the ground to the right-hand pocket. In fact, it's coming across the face of goals.
Kneeled. With him was Wilson. Christensen. Hand pass. Could be costly. On behind the Lewis. So the Eagles peppering away. They have just 3 behinds on the board. The valuable goal for Geelong, kicked by Barry Stoneham.
Yes, we'll only know how valuable as the game wears on, Sandy, but certainly Geelong did it pretty well. Ross mentioning Merriman's good effort, but Bairstow in the middle of the ground has been very good in the first 10 minutes. Rogers just taking his time, and he kicks it outside 50 metres, looks for Hooper. Good punch from behind. Now kneeled, a punch. Bairstow leaves a path beautifully for Christensen. That's what footy's all about, coming out of the back line, up towards the centre of the ground. Burke could have nearly been paid it, he has.
In these conditions, Robbo, pay that.
Burke, short kick, Bairstow again. Gee, the Eagles will have to do something about him. Kick it towards full forward. And Stoneham nearly again. Punched away by McIntosh. Matera, they've made a change already. The kick goes towards centre wing. Will it bounce and stay in? No, it goes over. And
yes, and Bairstow's already had 5 and 3. Very good start, as Sandy mentioned.
McIntosh back there on Stoneham having a little bit of a how do you do? And if you want to know what that is, it's I want to let you know how strong I am. Now the ball is with Matera. Poole putting some reasonable pressure on. Matera can't do anything with it. The umpire, central umpire that is, gives the all clear for a boundary throw in. We're halfway through the first quarter, and the Eagles have kicked 3 behinds. Geelong have kicked a goal. Goes over the back. Advantages with Jakovic. Bruns, who's done pretty well, shrugs the tackle from Lamb and gets a left foot kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Poole at the bottom and gets his foot to the ball. Chance here for Wills. Runs onto it. Kicks it to the front. Mansfield, McIntosh beats him nicely. In comes some help from Hart. Now Waterman. And he kicks the Eagles clear. Wide to half back, and the ball will trundle over for a boundary throw in. Eagles looked in a little spot of bother there.
Bit of pressure there. Kemp's on too, Robbo. He's gone on, and Dean Irving's come off. Too tall, McMonthouse thinks. Get the smaller player on in these conditions.
3 points the margin, favouring Geelong. Burke wins it. They have it across their half-forward line. Bruns. Finals experience showing here with Neville Bruns. Veteran of some 216 games. His floating kick is inside 50. Again, pressure on the Eagles' defence. Waters shrugs the tackle, goes onto the left foot. Poor kick. The juggling mark is taken by Burke. Stoneham will be his target. Kick is not a good one, however. It drops short. There's no mark paid. And another ball up.
It's going to happen at that end all day, standing with that breeze going. The ball is always going to drop short. Defenders have got to be in front.
30 metres out from the Geelong goal. Stoneham not quite. McKenna overran it. Lockyer in all sorts of bother. Waters and Burke almost collide. The little man comes off best towards Turley. With him is Bairstow. He was pushed. And Craig Turley will take the free kick on the defensive side. And they're finding out now it's very different than playing in Perth.
Turley, defensive side of the wing, kicks towards half forward. It's punched away. Attempted kick off the ground by Lewis. A path left there for Neal. Neal's kick to half forward, and have a guess who's got it. Bruns for his 7th possession in the first half of the first quarter. The kick towards full forward. Good pressure there by McIntosh. Now it's away by Lockyer, but not too far because Stephen Hockey was very good just at the centre wing position. Gives it away to brother Gary. Up towards half forward. Burke punched away by Jakovic. Waterman tries to allow Lockyer, but they nearly messed it up there. They have in the finish. Mansfield comes in. A little right foot kick. Probably a little too cute in these conditions. Now Jakovic, he's pushed over the boundary line. It's still in the field of play. Now it finishes with Lockyer. Lockyer's long kick. Rain falling again here at Waverley has heady marks at the back of the pack.
Plays quickly on to Chris Lewis. His short kick. They're coming unstuck across half forward. Hughes. Time to size up his options. He's got Steve Hocking alone. He can run through the middle. His brother says go on, and he does. Over Poole, up towards Stoneham. Pushed into the ball. He was unable to take it. Hammered by Turley wide. Matera picks it up and kicks to centre wing. Over the back, Christensen. Does the shepherding work. And Hughes steadies towards centre wing. That's a poor kick. Don Pike intercepting. Pike at centre wing. Sending the Eagles towards their 50-metre line. Valuable time ticking away. Wilson unable to take it. Again, Now pressure on the Geelong defence as Wilson hooks it in towards full forward. Sumic leads Rogers. 100 goal kicker for the season, Peter Sumic. Clay, the umpire lets play go on, and Lamb streaks away for Geelong. Ball to ground once. He's having trouble, but he recovers. They're going to be tired at the end of this game. Brennan could have been held.
They played the mark there, I think, Sandy.
See if it was a mark. I'll have to have another look at the rule book.
Bit lucky.
50-metre penalty.
Now 50.
And this could be important because it's going to bring him right up very close to the 50-metre line. And with the wind behind him, he's got a chance of kicking a goal here. Jakovic, what's he like? Rossiter as a kick for goal.
He's not bad. He's had a lot of experience in the forward line and in South Fremantle in the West Australian Football League. So you could give him a fair shot from here.
Obviously, the Geelong players not minding that mark alertly enough as far as the umpire was concerned.
So what can the 18-year-old do? It's a big day for him. It's going to be very close. I think it's snuck home.
Robert Scott is on and Wills is off for Geelong.
Centre bounce. Players go hard at the football. One umpire was not prepared to give the free kick and the other one was. So that's consistency. Jakovic takes the kick and he kicks it long. Well up to the 50-metre, inside 50. Sumic will kick a goal too easily. Peter Sumic gets his first goal and the Eagles get their second. They lead 2-3 to a goal.
It was an ordinary effort there by Rogers to attempt to get that ball. You watch this on replay. Jakovic playing on, no one on the mark. Rogers, I think the player is here, trying to spoil with there. Perhaps should have just tried to get two hands up there. And Sumic is making amends there, just picking up very quickly on recovery.
They'd need to kick at least 3 goals with the breeze, Sandy, you would think, wouldn't you?
Yes.
2-3 to 1 goal. Chance for Waterman. Just gets his right foot to the ball and it's effective. Mark is taken by Brennan. He plays on quickly. Looking for Sumic. And well done, Peter Sumic. A good mark. In a difficult situation, having to dive and still hang on to the chest mark close to the ground. About 40 metres out, maybe a little bit further.
And sensibly here too, wearing long sleeve jumper in these conditions.
Now Sumic, this area of the ground would suit him. He's got that style of kicking that hooks the football from left to right. And he's out there in the right forward pocket. Should get the distance. Beautiful kick by Sumic as a goal.
And we've still got 8 minutes remaining in this first quarter. So the Eagles getting their skates on. Jakovic soccers off the ground, down towards the half-forward line once again. Matera gives them another 30 metres. But it goes wide. Barrage won't get there in time. And we'll have a throw. Eagles bench.
Kept didn't last long, back on the bench.
Hooper again, getting a hand to it. Pushing it back towards centre wing. Christensen sees it over.
So I think I'd rather see Stoneham at centre half forward against the Breeze and maybe put Burke back at full forward. Ball just not getting to him.
Throw in again. On the wing, straight to Pike. His kick is going to be wide and out of bounds on the full. So Geelong a chance to bring it back in.
Just watching Barry Stone too, he's pretty itchy. He wants to get down the ground too. He's keen to get in the action.
Spencer heading back towards centre wing once more. Pretty congested area. At the back is Worsfold, however. He floats it wide. Heady and Sumic are both there. And Brett Heady takes the mark just inside 50.
Good kick too by the skipper Worsfold, giving Heady every chance.
It's almost a chip in towards full forward. And eventually taken over from one behind. Spencer at the bottom doing some tunnel ball work.
I reckon
3-4.
anything more for the Eagles in the way of goals for the rest of this quarter is a bonus.
Rogers will bring it back into play. Very short, but it's effective.
50?
Yes. Should be 50. Heady on land. And if that's 50, I'm staggered. Burke, 2 grabs. Stoneham obviously will be his target. He drifts into the pocket, but can't get clear of McIntosh. The youngster's doing a wonderful job. Couch round his body. Which way will it bounce? Towards goals. And rushed over by Hart. The one behind.
The importance there of David Hart's pace there, just getting in front of Merriman to force that through.
So McIntosh, again, going to the outer side. He wants Jakovic, who's leading Hooper. Big man gets a high kick towards a vacant wing area. Bounces clear. Spencer and Brennan, the two who will contest. And Brennan almost did that a little too easily. Getting rid of Spencer. Lewis got a nudge in the back. Sumic is at the back. Gives the hand pass away. Flicked in towards full forward. It's close, but one behind. Kicked by Adrian Barrich.
Gee, what an ordinary effort by Spencer.
My word, yes. Could have paid very dearly for that.
And in the early part of such a vital game, I mean, you just have to be right on the ball.
Percentages are the things that count that time.
Rogers to kick the ball back into play for the Cats and gets good distance. Outside 50. No mark taken there. Burke. Worsfold. Mansfield at the bottom. Handball away. Neal fumbles. Critical. Matera. Away to Lewis. Lewis tries to kick it off the ground. Now Poole. Poole gets some distance. And the kick will go down the ground. Poole hit behind play after he got rid of the ball, and it's against Barrich. The umpire telling Adrian Barrich about it. And the kick will go to Neville Bruns. It's his 8th kick. Up towards half forward. No mark taken there. Hooper.
In front.
Oh, in front, and it's been paid. Hooper, they call from Geelong. And Hooper kicks it up towards Stoneham. Stoneham at the back, a little nudge. He's got the footy, but he pushed him in the back, and the umpire saw it. So the free kick will go to Ashley McIntosh.
Good work too. One of the front posse and held it.
Gives it to Hart. Goes wider to Lockyer. He steadies towards the wing and Brett Henny. He's had a pretty good start as well, Henny. Looks up towards Wilson on that half-forward line. Turley's also there. Peter Wilson. The former Tiger over here in Melbourne. Getting his chance to play in a preliminary final. To full forward. Brennan the flyer. And Turley unable to get there in time. Sees it drift over the line for one behind.
Gee, again, if that ball had gone maybe towards the centre of the goals, Turley was a big chance. Was he?
Yes,
No Geelong players behind the pack there.
Surprising actually that Wilson went long because he had Sumic on a very good lead, just chose to ignore it.
Rogers heads towards Burke. Oh, the big man does it well. Plays on quickly to Mark Neal. Runs his full distance. His kicking is letting him down so far in this game. Jakovic claim, but he does get it away in time to Hetty. The ball was touched. Play on. Bairstow made a lightning start. It has quietened down a little. Bruns, kick number 9. What a boom first quarter he's had. Hooper and Lockyer contest. A chance now for Scott. Well, a former state player. He certainly knows the highs and lows of the game. He gives it to Trevor Poole. Another former Richmond man. Scott back to Poole. They may run into trouble.
Now, I'd like to ask a question here.
Reportable.
Is that a fair tackle, Ross?
Well, no, he was actually looking to hip and shoulder first, then change his mind and cause Steve French. I was going to comment, it was good shepherding too by Stephen Hocking to allow that ball to come up. He almost gave one handball too many.
This is Russell Merriman coming back into the side this week. He has had problems with a broken hand.
It's quite handy around goals too, Sandy.
Yes.
He won't get the distance, will he, into the Bruce?
He's going to be kicking from probably 40 metres, so...
Just see that right hand there.
It's a vital kick. It's close. It'll make the distance. That's all.
Gee, that could have made it interesting on the scoreboard. The ledger was going to be evened up a hell of a lot, wasn't it? Rossi to kick that. And McIntosh now will kick the ball back into play for the West Coast. We're into time on in this first quarter. And the West Coast lead 3-6 to 1-2. McIntosh comes to the members' side. Kick is in short. Turley's got it. Well tackled, but he shrugs it. Handball over the top. McKenna. Great composure, Guy McKenna. Off the left side. Heady. And he takes a good mark, an excellent mark, as Hart comes off and Kemp goes on. Heady, forward of the wing. Kicks it up to the 50-metre line. Marking contest, Geelong's defence. Strong back there. Punch it close to the line. Pike takes it over. And he's not too happy, but it looked fairly obvious. There's Hart having a little chat with the coach there, Michael Malthouse. And I think Mick would be reasonably happy, and maybe one more goal, and he would have been very pleased. Mansfield, it's punched away, back towards half-back. Spencer can't take it with him. Neither can Neil. Spencer's in there again. The ball there to be won. The umpire swallowed the whistle temporarily. Up towards centre-half forward for the West Coast. Rogers, tackled by Sumich. Ball free. Turley, handball. Lewis, into an open goal goes Lewis. And he's got the vital goal for the West Coast. Good play by the Eagles. Great combination between Turley and Lewis. And they get their fourth. 4-6 plays 1-2.
Rob, again, just the importance of having numbers around the footy. The options were there. Just watch this replay again. Just pressure there by Sumich. The ball spilling free, and Turley's been quite effervescent down there in the forward line. He's been bubbling everywhere. And a very good bit of teamwork there from the Eagles.
I think Rogers might have been playing for a free kick there.
Yeah, I think he might have been too.
Not expecting Sumich to do it so cleverly.
Perhaps the second mistake there from Rogers.
Effervescent. 8 plays 30. A minute remaining, an important minute for both sides. Steve Hocking to half forward. Hooperman. Plays on to Bairstow. Mark Bairstow from 52 metres. Poor kick off the side of the boot. McIntosh running into the ball. Stoneham behind him. Keeps the ball in play. Hocking to Robert Scott. He's on a tight angle and it's seen over the line.
Yes, and Hocking too quick thinking there for Scott. Scott was half asleep there. Standing flat-footed. Should have been on the move toward goal. Good work by Stoneham too to keep the ball in play.
Critical seconds now. Hooper, Lockyer, Scott in front. Bruns. And together Stoneham and McIntosh lock arms. I think Stoneham's a little frustrated by it all.
And he's trying to upset the young fella, and he's doing so, losing his own concentration and playing from behind too often.
This time it's in the right forward pocket. Seconds only remaining, so Geelong will have to pluck it out of the air and kick it. They run out of time. It's quarter time here at VFL Park. The West Coast Eagles lead 4-6, 30. Geelong are 1-2-8. So a vital quarter now. Geelong kicking with the breeze. The Eagles must hold them out. 8 plays 30. The West Coast a lead of 22 points. Hooper stands his ground and he wins it against Jakovic. Free kick going the way of the West Coast. The ball was thrown out, says the umpire. John Worsfold, the young skipper. Sees that ball sit in the air as he heads towards Brennan. Heady tries to barge through the pack. Lamb stands his ground. Tries to go out the back door. Spencer, a quick flick round his body. Turley could be first to this. He takes the mark just forward of centre wing.
Playing well, Turley.
He's had a wonderful year, Craig Turley. Goes towards the 50-metre line. Barrage got a hand to it. Wilson tried to get through. Bruns had a wonderful first quarter. Sockers back, but straight to Lamb. He's claimed. The ball spills free. Pike gets it from Brennan. Pulls it round his body towards full forward. What a mark by Sumich.
That's a clever mark too. Again, the numbers, the options for the Eagles running that forward line. And the ball finishing up there with Sumich, a very good mark.
And this will bring back memories.
Certainly will.
Was it the same day last year that he missed? Or was it the qualifying
It was the earlier final.
Yes.
It's at the same spot, wasn't it?
He's kicked 2.
Banana.
I think he's kicked that one. Start the Eagles into the wind in the second quarter.
Yes, and Craig Turley's having a good duel there with Bairstow. Who was the player that got that ball forward? What a terrific mark there by We see this Bruns not electing to pick the ball up and try and kick it to the boundary. In fact, kicking it more centrally. And here, Brennan, who's done quite well in the half-forward area. Watch this Sumich mark here, very clever.
Yes, maybe Bruns, if he had another look at it.
Well, he could have picked up, I'm sure. He knew Lewis was coming at him.
Maybe not enough talking.
Well, could have just picked it up.
5-6 to 1-2 early in the second term. Djakovic, through goes Bairstow. Vital player for Geelong. He must play well if the Cats are to have a chance. The kick goes across the half-forward line and trundles over the boundary line for throw-in about 65, maybe 70 metres from the Geelong goal. Very important goal to Sumich at the start of the second term into the breeze. I think Malcolm Blight would have been too pleased with that. Burke and young Djakovic. Burke gets the big punch. It's about 8 metres towards the 50-metre line. But once again, a boundary throw. There's Billy Brownless. And won't he be disappointed not being able to take his place in the Geelong side? Finals are what football's all about. And if you miss out through injury or suspension, it really is a body blow. Scott. McKenna. Scott still. Now Waterman had the footy, let it go. Hocking tackling. Ball runs free. Bairstow off the ground. Boundary throwing. Bairstow, who's had about 10 possessions, 11 to be exact, already in this match.
Geelong will be keen for all counts to try and get into the game. Scott Waters has done a great job so far. Bruns into the pocket. Lockyer. Left foot kick. Couch couldn't take the mark. Scott at the bottom of the pack. Djakovic over the top.
And Sandy, along with the player nullifying Couch there and Scott Waters, Pike's doing a very good job on Gary Hocking.
From the 50-metre line. Socket off the ground. Barrett has done well since coming onto the ground. Let the hand pass away. It's on centre wing. Lamb a chance to go through for the Cats. Sends them inside 50 once more. A long kick. It bounces in front of Stoneham. McIntosh is with him. Waters overruns it. Scott in there. Stoneham tries to flick it out to Burke. They're beaten again. Pike picks it up. Swings round his body. Hooper is there, but went for the fist. Lamb does well. Sets it up for Christensen. Marty's long kick in towards full forward. McIntosh again showing strength. Pushed towards the pocket. Scott rushed towards the line with the football, and it goes over.
Sandy, the West Coast Eagles' defence throughout the year only had 1,532 points kicked against them, which was nearly 500 points better than the next best side. So their defence is excellent.
A tough nut to crack, but here's a free kick to Geelong. The advantage is not going to be paid.
Yes, Guy McKenna just getting in the back of Russell Merriman there as judged by the umpire. Just watch this again. You see Merriman following the footy here. McKenna from behind. Well, falling forward, but he was in the back. You don't agree, Robbo?
Well, I think in these conditions, I know it's very difficult for the umpires to try and work out whether they are, but this could be the ultimate penalty, couldn't it? I mean, Merriman kicks a goal here. It certainly was.
Directly in front. 15 metres out. Oh, he's made it hard. He's made it very hard. A bad miss.
See, that was a nervous look at Malcolm Blight.
So McKenna brings it back into play. He wants Lockyer. The big man tried to soccer off the ground, then Burke had it ripped out of his hands. Up towards centre wing. Barrett tries to flick on to Lamb. Can't do so. Christensen's got to beat 3 of them. He did well. Bruns comes in to help him.
And gets a free kick.
And gets a free kick, but well done to Marty Christensen.
Yeah, too high. Good persistence there by the Geelong players.
Well done, Brunsy, because he really showed what it's all about. Get in there, have a go. You're going to go down fighting. The ball back towards the centre. Stephen Hocking trying to pick it up. Kick off the ground. Hooper's a chance. Long kick by Hooper. Up towards full forward. Ball goes to the back. Who can run quickest? Couch punched away by Djakovic was good play. Ball still in the field of play. Couch is still a chance. Can he get around to the left foot? He kicks it and it hit the post. Unbelievable how he got his foot to the ball and then nearly threaded it through.
It's clever work, wasn't it?
Paul Couch gets his first score for the day, which is a behind, and Geelong 1-4, trail the West Coast 5-6.
Djakovic.
Working well on the Ruxeni too.
Coming up for his 6th kick. Heads towards the half-back line. Brennan almost pulled it in with the one hand, the vice-captain. Has time to swing round, have a look up towards centre wing. Heady was his target. Geelong have the numbers there. Hocking has been well held. Christensen like lightning to Lamb. Under pressure, goes back towards Christensen. Bumped by Brennan. Hooper claim. Lamb at the bottom. Heady. Socket off the ground by Lamb. Gains probably 20 metres. And again, it's over the line.
Gary Hockey's another player who's having a little bit of trouble getting into the play.
Yep,
2 kicks and 3 hand passes.
Pike's doing well on him.
Brennan and Burke, they lock arms. Burke has the right free and he hammers it 15 metres. Trevor Poole, where is that football? Over the line.
Vital 7 or 8 minutes for Geelong now in the middle part of the second quarter with the breeze at their back. West Coast doing a pretty good job. Lamb is dispossessed. Bairstow, not a bad kick. Inside 50 metres. Merriman can't mark. Chance there for Lockyer. Tackled. Ball still with Lockyer. Now an opportunity for Poole. Can't quite do much with the football. In there is Waters. Tackled by Gary Hockey. And Buddha, as he's known affectionately at Kardinia Park. Oh, there's a little bit of a dust-up behind play. Peter Matera and Gary Hockey. And the boundary umpire throws it in. Hooper tries to get it to Couch. He's well tackled by Waterman. Couch at the bottom of the action. Waterman has the football. Still nothing productive being done. So we'll have a ball up on the 50-metre line.
They're missing those forwards, Ross.
Oh yes, but they're also not crumbing it well in the forward line, Tony, with the 2 big fellows there contesting. The little fellows like Scott and Co aren't getting to the fall of the footy.
Bruns kicks it back in towards centre-half forward. Stephen Hocking tries some fancy stuff. Waterman's got him, and he'll be penalised for holding the ball. So Waterman has the football at centre-half back. Short kick, and he finds Pike. He'd done something with it before he really had it, but he had time to recover. Kicks it to centre-half forward. Ball at the back. Heady. Handball nicely into the path of Turley. In turn to Wilson. Back to Barrage. Barrage is shot for goal. What will the breeze do? Sumic is there. The ball is helped over by Darcy for a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the West Coast.
And that was a good example there of the Eagles having 1 player behind and 1 player in front of the contest, so you pick up those crumbs.
Ruckman. Burke tries to get it to Bruns, who's doing pretty well. He can't get the kick away. Wilson a good smother. In goes Spencer. The ball still in the West Coast forward pocket as Hughes bumps Heady. And the ball goes over for another boundary throw. In a great physical contest by both sides.
16 and a half minutes remaining in this second quarter. But at the moment, Geelong unable to make any impression. The Eagles very disciplined and very determined. Burke gives it straight to Chris Lewis. Now, he is a very clever footballer. A very clever footballer.
Winning in the rucks, but the West Coast take it away. This time it's Hocking's kick off the ground. Up towards centre-half forward. Waters is there. What can Scott do? He runs away with the football. Gets onto the left foot. The pass. Ineffective. McKenna not paid the mark when he could have nearly been. Couch. Sweeping hand pass. Stoneham must kick this. Stoneham does kick this. Magnificent play by Geelong in the finish.
Touched.
It's been touched. Well, as though it was a clean kick off the boot, but it's through for a behind. 1-5, plays 6-6. Kick in. Lockyer finds Turley. Turley at half-back. Eagles getting some space. Kick towards half-forward. Over the back. Hughes, a brilliant bump by Heady. Heady still got control of the football. Close to the boundary line, Barrage. Handball goes back. Picking it up nicely is Pike. And slung as he kicks. The advantage is with Geelong at half-back. Bruns' kick has been marked. No, Stoneham drops it. Goes around onto the right foot. Kicks it wide to the opposite half-forward area. Poole can't mark. In comes Merriman. Hand pass too severe for Gary Hockey. Turley has the football underneath him, and he could be penalised. No, he's not. The umpire will ball it up.
Barry Stone has come up from full forward to that half-forward area. Malcolm Blight wanted to get him into the play.
Burke wins it again. Bruns can't quite get an effective kick. Merriman round his body to half forward. Geelong want goals and they want them rapidly. Lockyer defends. Out in front of Matera, who soccers off the ground, gaining 30 metres.
He's been quite effective like that today, Matera. He's come through some packs, just lifted the ball off the ground with his boot, kept it going forward. It's intelligent play in these conditions.
Good wet weather football. Peter Matera. Djakovic and Burke. Burke a little palm with the right hand. Merriman may have propped one a little high. Eventually farms it out. Hocking must get into the game if Geelong are to be a force. His kick goes straight to Craig Turley. Turley can set something up here. Barrage still outside 50. Now goes looking for Sumic.
Two good kicks there, Sandy.
Yep.
Good vision from Turley to find Barrage. Barrage then with those strong legs just steady, and a good low trajectory pass to Sumic. Sumic, too much ground there on Darcy. This will be a good kick.
Wrong side of the ground. 40 metres and one behind.
That's a part of the ground there too, which is very, very soft. Very difficult to keep your footing there.
2-2 to Peter Sumic out of a tally 3-2. Out of a tally of 6-7. So it's a good performance. Tim Darcy has replaced Rogers at full-back.
Must go straight down the ground, surely.
Eventually has Burke trying to flick it on. Bruns waiting down in front. Oh, he's been a try, Brunsy. Up towards the middle. Couch. Gets onto the left foot with a little step pass into half forward. Merriman misses it.
Gee, that really does bring undone the good work of Couch then, who a couple of times has been very clever, wanting to get the ball to a teammate. Merriman just not hanging on.
Inside 50 for Geelong. Bruns from behind. Kemp in front. Across to Turley. He's got some room. Craig Turley runs through the middle of VFL Park. 3 times ball to ground. No one can catch him. Looks towards Heady. It bounces off his chest. Lewis comes in to help Brett Heady. He flicks it out to Wilson. Peter Wilson around his body, back to Heady. Can't again complete the diving mark. Kemp is claimed. Heady another chance. This time his kick dribbles over the line.
We've got the lights on too, Sandy. Indication of how dark it's getting out there.
Geelong are under enormous pressure. The West Coast Eagles, I think that one of their great credits throughout the season has been the fact that they don't fall over very much, and again, even in these wet conditions, it's their keeping of their feet that has been very, very good.
Which is assisted too, Robert, because a lot of their weight work has been done on their legs, which is important to have that strength to keep your feet.
Forward pocket for the West Coast. Wilson gets through, the kick smothered. No, it wasn't. It was clean off the boot. So it goes over for a free kick to be taken in the back pocket by Lamb. And Ross, you mentioned about the inability of Geelong to kick goals. Gee, it's showing up, isn't it?
Yes.
They really are struggling on their forward line. Burke thumps it back. Stoneham leaves it behind. Kick off the ground by Gary Hockey. Opportunity for Scott. He's held. Maybe advantage here. Chance now for Scott again. He's going to get caught by McIntosh. He haven't got all day to find it, son. In the centre of the ground. Lewis. Now McKenna. Handball over the top, Turley. And again to Kent. Brilliant football by the Eagles. Matera. This should finish in a goal. What is he going to get caught? He fell for the 3-card trick as well. Bruns kicks it quickly. Down the ground maybe. No. Ball at centre half forward for Geelong. Punched away. Comes back towards Djakovic. He gets the handball over the top, and Lamb, the tempo hotting up here at Waverley. Turley, who's been best man on the ground. Short pass. Brilliant. Finds Heady.
This player's worked very well too.
Brent Heady almost down to half forward. Sumic out on a long lead. Can't take the mark. Hughes tidies up. But where can he go? He finds Gary Hocking at half back. Hocking's kick is long. Stoneham was pushed in the back, but McIntosh takes the mark. The crowd don't like it.
Lamb off, hard on for the Eagles.
Djakovic, again, plenty of time for the big man. Picks out Kemp. As Robbo said, the tempo just going up a notch. Towards the 50-metre line. Burke in front. Brennan scouting. Clay. The ball spills free. Barrage tries to get it out, but he threw it.
I was going to say it was the only way he could get rid of it.
Both arms locked in a very good tackle. Christensen. Floating kick in towards the centre. Stoneham and Scott on to Bairstow. That looks more promising. The pass, clean bowls everyone. It spills free. Worsfold will be first to it. And again, he's got loose players up the ground. Jakovic can run on. Ball to ground once, then kicks to centre wing. Wilson uses the body to get away from Neil, only just. And a courageous mark by Spencer.
Terrific mark, committed himself, he had to. Well done.
Burke asking for it, but he's ignored. He spirals a punt kick up towards centre wing. Stoneham with one hand. Merriman, hurried left foot kick. Turley may grab it on the half volley. He misses, and Hocking missed him. Paul Couch. They can start something here with Bairstow across half forward. If it sits, he's in business. Bairstow from 52 metres boots it up towards full forward. It's a poor kick over, away to the right, in fact out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Yes, that makeshift forward line has really upset the players that have gone down here. Their positioning's not good. And again, on that indication there, no one there home for Bairstow to kick to.
And Eagles have kicked 2 goals against the Breeze, and Geelong with the win, still yet to kick a goal. Gary Hocking, he'll kick across the full forward line into the opposite forward pocket, but it goes over in front of David Hart. One would wonder whether Irving would take much
I wouldn't think
part
so.
in the game
Unless there's
now.
an injury, I wouldn't think there'd be a need for it, actually.
Jakovic doing a wonderful job in the ruck. This time it's Lockyer up against Hooper. Pike is caught. Stephen Hocking. No room for Couch. Still no room for players to get their foot to it. And it's trundled over for another boundary throw in. 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and the Eagles have control of the game. 6-7 to 1-5. The ball in the left forward pocket for Geelong. Hooper tries to get it down. Bruns. Snapshot. And missed to the left-hand side. Scott may have been there. Robert Scott being recalled. He's had a pretty ordinary season this year, and lots of reports about him going onto the transfer list. So maybe his performance in today's preliminary final will dictate what will happen to him in the future.
Lockyer brings it back into play. Jakovic does well to flick it on towards centre wing, or Bruns almost threw that out, looking for Stephen Hocking. Jakovic again. He's playing a fine game. Burke's in trouble. Burke's in trouble behind the play, I think. But it doesn't stop these Eagles. Matera's kick comes up towards half forward. Brennan tried to flick it out the back door. Put his teammate under pressure. Lamb will get caught. He does. Heady the tackler. With him is Brennan. And back in the middle, Burke testing a knee.
Yes, Hooper off and Wills on. This is how... Yeah, there it is. Just a clash of knees with Christensen and Burke. Burke's right knee, the part of the body injured.
Bairstow finds Burke. Well, they'll want to give this to someone. And he caught Stephen Hocking unawares. Claimed by 2. The Eagles hunting in packs.
You play like losers when you're doing that, Ross.
Yeah, well, the ball coming very quickly to him, and of course being greasy, very difficult to handle.
He should have just stumped it.
Should have just gone bang, that's right. Hit out's easily favouring Geelong there, but they're not making getting any value from that dominance.
Still in the middle. Bairstow again. He's trying very hard to give the Cats something, but the Eagles' defence is very, very tight. Lockyer does it too easily. Across to Hart. Up towards Jakovic on the wing. Well spoilt by Trevor Poole. Barrage again gaining meterage and bouncing just inside the line for another throw in. Needs to be well rugged up here at VFL Park today. Burke and Jakovic again, won by Burke. To Trevor Poole. He's had a pretty good final series, Poole. To half forward. Stoneham gets clear, still a long way out. Puts the Cats inside 50. The bouncing ball may be good for Mansfield.
See that kick at the post, Andy? Allowed a goal.
Well, be interesting to see if it's a tight finish. Burke. Couch. No one able to pick it up. Waterman kneeled on his hammer.
He played for that, got the free kick.
Waterman from half-back. Floats it over the centre. Very difficult with this tricky wing. Gary Hocking takes it. The Buddha unable to find anything substantial at the moment. To half-forward. McIntosh has had a grand game. Waterman. Back towards centre wing. Brennan. The Eagles running in packs. Matera gets it away. Away he goes. Towards Sumic. Nipping in front is Heady.
He's been too good for Lamb today. He's run right away from him. Clever play there by Matera. And again, Djakovic involved. Djakovic and McIntosh doing a very, very fine job today.
Well, Geelong have worked for almost 25 minutes for one goal with the breeze. And just seconds later, the Eagles have a chance to reply. They've already kicked a couple into it. This to make it 3 for the quarter. Off target. They have still set Geelong an awesome task.
Well, the thing that's confronting Geelong is that in the third quarter, the Eagles are going to have the breeze at their back. If they have an advantage of, say, 4 goals at half-time and kick 3 with it to nothing, there's 7 in front. With tired legs in the last quarter, Geelong have got a huge job in front of them. Burke can't get it. Matera tries to handball it to his advantage. Hocking tries to crash through. Could have nearly been penalised. Here goes Pike from 50 metres. Pike goes for goal, and it bounces just to the left and through for a behind to the West Coast Eagles.
Neville Brunt's just copying another whack there. Got a fine shepherd there from Lewis. Didn't see him coming.
6-9 to 2-6. 3.5 minutes left in the quarter. Darcy to kick the ball back into play. Goes straight down the ground. And a mark will be taken here by Burke. He plays on. Round onto the right foot. And in his endeavours to get good distance, just slews off the side. A punch on. Chance for Stoneham. Beaten for it. McIntosh. Was that a throw? Come on, umpire, if you lift the ball in the air. Kemp kicks it back to the wing. Poole gets around onto the right foot. Kicks it to centre half forward. McIntosh leaves it, and Lockyer is there.
Should definitely be a free kick. You can't lift the ball like that. Quite right.
And Lockyer kicks it back towards centre wing. Poole in front. Can't mark. Chance for Scott. Handball's away to Gary Hocking. Geelong must get one from this. Gary Hocking's kick to full forward. Mansfield can't mark. Who's the quick runners? Kemp leads in the race for the ball, and he will take it over. And the safety of the boundary line in the left forward pocket for Geelong.
Robert, this heavy ground, which some people thought might bring the Eagles' pace back to Geelong, is certainly not affecting them.
Certainly there. Kemp has
outstripped Merriman.
Did very, very well. McIntosh, Stoneham, Scott. Round onto the left, then the right. Scott. Shot for goal. Over the top, and a good mark taken by Worsfold. Right on the last line of defence. Very, very good player, John Worsfold. And he kicked quickly. The mark is taken by Lockyer, and I thought maybe his height, but his strength in that back line has been very good.
And he does read the game quite well there too.
Just knitting it all together. And what was statistically the best defence in the competition in the home and away is standing up magnificently. The ball goes wide to the wing. Djakovic, with contempt, runs away and kicks the ball up to the 50-metre line. Lamb takes a good mark over Wilson. And good combination there with Darcy. 1 3/4 minutes left. Back in towards the centre. No mark taken there. In comes Stoneham. Lifting Geelong. Round onto the right foot. Kicks it to within goal-scoring distance. Oh, no mark taken by Mansfield. Neal is there, but in chips Waterman. He's pushed in the back by Poole. Play goes on. Neal has the football. Can't keep it in. It's pushed over eventually by Worsfold. And a boundary throw-in will take place. Mansfield in the hands of the trainers.
Just hit him in the face, did it, the footy? Yeah, got him on the bottom of the jaw there.
Boundary throw-in in the right forward pocket for Geelong. Just over a minute left in the term. Stoneham tries to get the tap out. Goes to Merriman. Over the top to Bairstow. In turn to Gary Hocking. Left foot shot for goal by Gary Hocking. Yes, no mark. Wills, no. Kick over the top by Mansfield. Out on the full. And the free kick to be taken back there by Pike, is it? No, it's McKenna getting back there for the West Coast.
Malcolm Blotch swapped flanks too. He's got Steve Hocking now picking up Heady with Lamb going to Wilson.
Brennan unable to complete the mark. All spills free and spins towards the line. Bairstow sees it over. Hotly pursued by Scott Waters.
Gee, Couch has had heaps of trouble, hasn't he? They've just given him no space whatsoever, poor Couch.
Rain too.
A great quarter of football by the West Coast Eagles. There is Couch. He gets a kick under great pressure. Scott asked to play on. Put him unawares. Kemp sees it go out the back door. Kneeled. Time ticking away. Trevor Paul, they're beaten again. And so we come to half-time here at VFL Park with the West Coast Eagles in a commanding position. They are 6-9 to Geelong's 2-6. The Cats kicking with the breeze in that quarter can manage just 1 goal for the West Coast kicking into it. Booted 2 goals, 3. Peter Sumich has taken his season's tally to 103. He has 3 for the day. And Geelong now, well, it's going to be a real character tester. Malcolm Blight ponders and just tries to work out what can he do to get back into this game. The Eagles are looking good to go into their first grand final. Repeating the halftime score, the West Coast 6-9-45, Geelong 2-6-18.
29 years ago this month, the Victorian Football League purchased 212 acres of market gardens and gentle grazing land at Mulgrave. Within a decade, the cow paddocks had given way to what would become one of the finest sporting stadiums in the Southern Hemisphere. The vision of the then league president, Sir Kenneth Luke, and the drive of Secretary Eric McCutcheon inspired the birth of VFL Park.
And I now declare your home, the VFL Park, to be officially open. This is the fulfilment of a dream.
In April 1970, with the temperatures in the low 80s, 25,000 were on hand to see Geelong and Fitzroy christen the new arena. Within 2 years, finals were being played here. The Final Four extended to a Final Five, and St Kilda and Essendon doing battle in the cutthroat elimination. A week later, the ground produced its first drawn game. Richmond and Carlton deadlocked in the second semi-final at the final siren.
The siren has sounded. It's a draw. Carlton and Richmond have drawn on 8 goals, 13, 61 points.
Traffic flow was an initial problem. A freeway would later alleviate many of the problems, but the crowds quickly accepted the new venue. On Anzac Day 1975, 77,770 turned up to see Des Tuddenham's Essendon slug it out with John Nichols' Blues, and another 70,000 witnessed the first preliminary final at the park. As befits one of the world's most magnificent stadiums, it was necessary to light it up, and in 1977 the switches were turned on and nothing happened. When the lights did flicker to life, the now traditional night series was born. While the lights were wonderful, the sprinkler system still caused the odd problem. The ground became a concert venue. Rod Stewart, Simon and Garfunkel and David Bowie all popped in, as did the world's best cricketers when the Pirate World Series cricket installed their wickets in tubs and introduced a new face to the stage sport. By 1981, just 11 years after the first kick at the park, a record home and away crowd of 92,000 saw the Hawks and the Magpies in action, and every seam on the giant grey Coliseum was stretched to bursting point. The game of Australian football might have had its birth around the time-honoured MCG, but the innovations that have made it great have been witnessed by the fans at Waverley. Night matches for points, massive crowds for night grand finals, Sunday matches for premiership points and double headers, all helping to make VFL Park one of the great football venues. This is the park's 21st birthday, and what a coming of age it will be with the playing of the greatest game on earth on the last Saturday in September.
Right, set to go now in the second half of this preliminary final. 27 points the margin, favouring the Eagles, and they're going with the breeze. Bairstow got a touch, Couch got a kick towards the half-forward line, and McIntosh.
Yes, and a couple of changes by Malcolm Blight. Spencer's gone to full forward and kneeled at centre-half forward.
So a big ask for those youngsters. Good mark by Trevor Poole. Geelong have got to get goals rapidly. But it's another youngster, Jakovic. holding up proceedings.
Stoneham is at centre-half back because of those moves.
Jakovic pumps it long, almost down to the 50-metre line. Couch caught unawares, goes to ground, may get another chance. Flicks out the hand pass towards Lamb, with him is McKenna. Wilson flicks it over to McKenna, back to Wilson. Couldn't handle it, Lamb soccers it clear. A chance for Merriman. Eventually socket off the ground and sitting in the mud on the outer wing. Wilson was quick to get back there. Flicks it round his body. It's a high kick. Bruns tries to spoil Turley. Hart gets clear. David Hart now putting the Eagles inside 50. Sumic almost complete at the mark. Darcy dashes clear. Kicks in towards the centre. It's not a good kick. Puts Bairstow under pressure. He plays for the free kick, but he gets it.
A bit lucky, I think. Bairstow, defensive side of the centre. Had a good first half, 12 kicks and 5 hand passes, as he was highlighted.
Good job between he and Turley, Robbo.
No one to kick to, so he's got to bomb away out wide of the wing, and a good mark taken by Bruns, who had something like 17 kicks in the first half. He runs on quickly. You must do that into the breeze. He kicks it to centre-half forward, and nearly a Geelong mark to Mansfield. Hockey, kick off the ground by Pike. Chance now for Kemp, but he's beaten at it by Matera. Back in towards the centre. Here's Hughes, who's been quiet. Suspected broken hand from last week. Up towards half forward. Waters back there. Kicks across his body, out towards a vacant wing position. Bounces awkward. McKenna in there, but the bounce comes back towards Lamb. Lamb round onto the right foot. Kicks it into the pocket. And nearly a Geelong mark to Spencer. Picked off by Neal. Chance for Hughes. Kick to the goal front. And Mansfield nearly marks. Can he keep it in? No, brilliantly tackled by Kemp. There was no way Mansfield was coming back into the field of play. And we'll have a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Geelong.
Yeah, blocked him very well, that man on screen, Kemp.
Rain again starts to fall. Hockey tries to get clear for a soccer, but can only get it across the boundary line.
Geelong must get a goal here, Sandy. This is identical to their first quarter start.
They're down by 27 points. Lockyer, front spot, got a right hand to it. Socket away. Still inside 50 for Geelong. Only momentarily though. Matera tumbles it long over the centre. Christensen chasing, so too Wilson. Good work by Wilson. Klein. Rogers the tackler. Steve Hockey. They're under so much pressure, Geelong. Lamb bumped off it. McKenna through. He's going to have a shot in towards goal. It's going to be close. It's the post. By McKenna, one behind. The Eagles move to 6-10.
Sandy, again, example of the pace of the Eagles putting pressure on those Geelong defenders.
Darcy.
The numbers too, Ross.
Yeah, there's always someone around.
There was a path for McKenna, wasn't there?
Again, goes straight down the middle. Could be very costly. Lewis is going to have a shot. 45 metres out, directly in front, the wind at his back.
Yes, and Andrew Hughes, who's been his immediate marksman, was miles away on the other side of the ground.
Lewis has already booted 2. Shot's going to be pretty tight. I think he's got there, though. Shaving it again. 6-11. 17 effective scoring shots to 8. Really does tell the story of the day. Tim Darcy. Ball sitting up in the breeze and almost heading back towards Darcy. It's still well inside 50. Couch was late. Take the free kick after being tripped by Jakovic. Ball is on for 50 metres.
Actually, that's interesting because Lewis came from behind with 2 players on the mark.
The umpire ignores it. Kicks towards centre wing. Turley scouting. Has time to feed it out to Hart. Up towards half forward again. Lewis, caught behind, was forced to defend. Steve Hocking. Again, the pressure too great. Wilson flicks round his body. Sumic with the long sleeves. Darcy at the bottom. And another throw.
Big job for Darcy to come onto the ground and pick up Peter Sumich after he'd kicked, I think, 2 goals. He's perhaps kicked 1 against Darcy, but he's done a reasonable job back there.
It's not a role he's unaccustomed to.
Heady brought to the ground, still has the football. Kicked away now to the half-back flank area for Geelong. Leading is Poole. Good pressure by Matera. The ball knocked over right on the 50-metre line.
Robbo, with this rain persisting now, it's going to make it even more difficult for Geelong.
Yes, it's the big ask is whether they can kick consecutive goals. They've had lots of trouble, only 2 goals so far. We're well into the 3rd quarter. So what you said before the game ever started, Ross, is really coming to fruition. Geelong missing what players like Ablett and Brownless.
Yes, they've got another 2 players we mentioned from the start, Neal and Spencer, now being tried in those 2 key forward roles.
Struggling to get the ball out of that half-back area. Waters kicks across his left shoulder in towards centre half-back. Attacking it fiercely was Stoneham. And in there is Buse. Stoneham gets the ball well to Bairstow, away to Lamb. What can they do out of this? Lamb's kicked the centre half forward. It's come up quickly. McIntosh could have been paid the mark, and he is. Well done by this man who you would reckon is 28, not 18. He plays the game like a veteran. Stoneham, Bairstow, goes back, handball, Couch, can't get away. Back he goes to Bairstow. They need both those players to live. Up towards full forward. The kick is off the side of the boot. Chance there for Lockyer. He kicks it quickly, high, out on the full in front of the small scoreboard. So a free kick to be taken out there for Geelong by Merriman. And you can see the rain falling quite persistently now. So it looks as though it's here for the rest of the day. Russell Merriman, 5 kicks and 2 hand passes. Yet to kick a goal. Mr. Sitter in the 2nd term. Kicks it long in towards the goal square. No mark taken. Here's a chance. Scott gets his foot to it and kicks it through from behind. And again, the Eagles, they're just so keen to get at the action and make it difficult for their opponent. Lockyer to kick it back into play.
Just under 18 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Lockyer high. Burke and Jakovic. Burke defends. Matera waits down. Gives it away to Waters. Flicks it towards half-back. Turley trying to read it behind Christensen, but it doesn't matter. He's got so much support. Jakovic has been marvellous. Goes up towards Heady. Couldn't complete it with the one hand. And it's defensively pushed over the line by Andrew Rogers for another throw.
Gee, they work hard to get it up there, and then very quickly with 1 and 2 kicks, it's back towards the 50-metre line for the Eagles.
Burke. Bruns at the bottom there, battling hard. Again, socket off the ground, this time on the full. And it'll give the Eagles a chance through Heady to go even deeper into attack. Had a good first half, Brett Heady. Into the pocket, Wilson got a touch, Hart swings it round. Sumich is there, he'll go into the open goal, and there's another one.
A great kick there by Hart to give the chance to Sumich. And he gets the ball out of the centre, to centre half forward. Under pressure, the Cats. Stoneham leaves it behind. Chance now for Christensen. Kicks it with the right foot, up towards centre half forward. Geelong breaking down across their key half forward area. Kemp in the back maybe, the advantage could be paid. Geelong up towards half forward. Mark certainly to Bairstow, 50 metres from goal, too far out to score. And he knows it. He's going to have to take a punt, put it right in the goal square. It goes to the front of the goals. And it's a mark to Mark Neal.
He's did that well. They kept his eyes on the footy because the ball was going to drop quickly. The Eagles defenders were more worried about the man, not the eye on the footy. You see this again. Jakovic unable to get back in time. Ball carrying him. And the bustling going on between Kent and Scott in the background. Larry Neal to
shoot. He kicks from point-blank range and gets the goal. So Neal kicks his first goal, and Geelong get their 3rd goal. They've kicked a goal in each of the quarters. 3-7 plays 7-11.
It's one of the few times they've been able to break free from the centre, with Bairstow being free across half forward. He was the player that punched that ball forward with a good kick into the breeze. Neil backing back from that centre half-forward position. But he started off in that third quarter very nicely.
25 plays 53 from the middle. The Cats go forward again. They want goals and they want them rapidly. Over the head of Neil and McIntosh. Bairstow will send them even closer to goal. Lockyer, Spencer and Hart all there. The Eagles have the numbers. It's Hart who picks it up and kicks up towards centre wing. Lamb forced to defend. Couch in front has been well controlled today. Almost taken out of it on that occasion. Stoneham tries to shrug the tackle. All he does is put Couch under great pressure. McKenna looking for Waters. Pike off the ground. They just continue to work. Brennan picks it up and gets a kick, but it'll come back. It's a free kick.
See, that was belated, wasn't it?
Yeah, for holding on there from Barrage. It was very much so. The play had gone right on.
But in the probably the preceding 20 seconds, there could have been perhaps 2 or 3 free kicks that were very close to.
Might pick one.
Yes, it's a bit difficult sometimes.
So Stoneham to take it. He's on centre wing. Drifting it in towards half forward. Scott at the bottom tries to flick it out. Kemp got one for his troubles. He kicks it high. Waterman and Lamb, the two 39s. Wilson is there also. And it's Jamie Lamb. Sees it over the line. So Geelong unable to make any impression on this very commanding lead. Hocking has been well held today. Rogers gets a high kick again up over the centre. Neil caught behind. Scott almost leg. Recovers. Needs someone going past. Couch is on the right side for his left foot. Sends it long in towards full forward. Waiting down Bairstow. Flicks round his body. It's going to be close. It bounces through.
22 points, the advantage for the Eagles. Geelong have dominated the centre bounces. Merriman can't get at the football. The ball rebounds towards centre wing. And a quick kick by Matera finds the safety of the boundary line.
I wonder if it's a little bit of a shades of the grand final of 89, Robert, where they pushed forward that last half or last 3 quarters perhaps against Hawthorn Geelong and just missed out. They'll need a similar effort.
Yes, it's going to be a big ask. We're approaching the halfway mark of the third quarter and there's still a chance. The kick there is in danger. Now, how do you pick that out when we've played 2.5 quarters of football and we've seen heaps of that happen and all of a sudden there's a kicking in danger and it will go to Don Pike. Pike's kick. Inside 50. Sumich. Lewis off the ground. What can the miracle worker do? He nearly did it. But it went through to the right-hand side for one behind. Chris Lewis, 2 goals, 3 from limited opportunities, and this man has limited his chances. It's Andrew Hughes. 7-12 plays 4-7. And even this far from home, it'll be a Houdini act for the Cats to get out of trouble, I feel. Stoneham at half-back. Kick towards centre wing. Looking for Burke. Big punch by Jakovic. And it goes over for boundary throw-in. And left half forward for the West Coast. We've got 12 minutes left in this third quarter. And in that 12 minutes, I feel, Ross, that Geelong need to kick 2 goals and hold the Eagles goalless.
They've got to play their best footy for the match. They really do.
Here's a chance for Poole. He's caught. Gets the hand pass away, but to no one for the Cats. Turley. Now the opportunity for Matera, who kicks it long, up towards the goal front. But a great mark by Darcy. And I say great because marks like that are difficult in these conditions. He plays on, kicks it back towards the wing. Chance for Turley, caught with a footy. Down goes the football. Brennan in the action. Hand pass back to Pike. Pike's kick to the front of the goals. Good play by Hughes. Wilson may kick a goal. Gets past. Handballs away. Oh, the slippery ball, awkward. Hughes takes the punt. Darcy runs around Sumich. What'll he do here? He'll kick it close to the boundary line. Brennan and Stoneham. And well done, Barry Stoneham. Out of position physically, but still able to get his right hand to the ball and tap it over for throw-in.
And in the end, it was well done by Darcy, who put himself back into more trouble by going back toward goal, but his kick was very effective.
From the throw-in. Hocking. across to Rogers, just gets away from Wilson. Gets his kick up towards half-back and a good diving mark taken by Lamb. Plays on straight away to Merriman. Sense of urgency creeping into the Geelong game again. Great use of the body by McIntosh.
He's been terrific.
Been fantastic today. First of all, Stoneham, now Neil. He finds another teenager, Jakovic. They've both had tremendous games. Worsfold and Mansfield doing a jig behind play. Bairstow can't juggle a slippery ball, but he's got time to recover. Goes over the centre. Past Hocking. Now Merriman. Tumbling a punt towards Neil. This time he's in front and takes the mark.
Do you get any feeling, Ross, about Geelong at the moment?
Well, I think they are just lifting. They really are, but they've got to. It's fairly obvious.
Mark Neil spirals a punt kick. They want a goal here. Spencer in front. Trevor Poole. Mansfield. Mansfield flicks it round his body. Scott falls at the critical time. The Eagles have the numbers. It's Lockyer who gives it away, and Jakovic runs clear. The left foot drop punt up towards half-back. Only as far as Burke. Can't take the mark, the big man. It's held to him.
Oh, well done there by Barrage, was it?
Yep.
Harsh, but he perhaps should have held that chest mark.
Should have, yeah.
So another bounce. Again, Burke wins it. Puts it down the throat of Merriman, but it's socket off the ground, this time on the foot.
Another goal to Geelong, I feel, Ross.
That's all they need. I'm sure they'll lift them.
Some momentum at the moment, isn't there?
Burke's off. Hooper coming back on.
Bairstow to Scott. They've really gained very little from that. Robert Scott goes short again. Too short for Mark Neil. Now Stephen Hocking, 60 metres out. In towards full forward. Spencer the meat in the sandwich. It's hammered away. Close to the boundary line and over. Trevor Poole sees it go. Well, they're almost teasing the crowd, aren't they? If they could get another one, it would lift them.
Well, they trailed by 27 at half-time. They now trail by 23. If they can make it 16 at three-quarter time, they've got some chance.
Scott caught. Neil, the hurried kick. Only as far as Worsfold. He's knitted that defence together marvellously well. The race is on. Lamb and McKenna. McKenna overtakes Lamb. Darcy intercepts.
He played that well. Played it well.
Done. He took a risk to get into the action too, though, Ross, didn't he?
My word.
Now Darcy plays on. Kicks it in towards the centre. Geelong need to take the mark. They can't. In comes Heady. Gets it away to Hart. Hart's kick across his body to half forward. Wilson can't mark. The risk is there now with Geelong. Rogers gets the handball away to Bruns. He holds onto it. Then he's dumped as he kicks it. No kick down the field, but the mark's taken by Neil. He plays on quickly. Gets it to Hocking. That's Stephen Hocking. Kicks with the left foot. Up to half forward. No mark taken. Attempted kick off the ground by Kemp, but Scott has lifted. He gets the hand pass to Bairstow. Can he shrug the Turley tackle? He can. Up to centre half forward. Geelong mark, no. Dropped by Merriman. Back towards Mansfield. Oh, the players are very tired even now. And the umpire is forced to ball it up about 55 metres from the Geelong goal. The rain has not eased up now. It's still teeming down here at VFL Park.
Waters couldn't take it. Bairstow, a tired kick towards half forward, inside 50. Spencer comes out and tries to flick it further forward. Mansfield ducks his head, then gets the hand pass back to Spencer. Was he held? The umpire said no. Neil kicks into the man on the mark. And again, Pike tries to send it away. Matera through dangerously. Waters is there well. Matera's still going. He does well. No one will grab him. From the centre, he pumps the Eagles deep in towards their 50-metre zone. Past Brett Heady. Buse steamrolls towards the ball. Heady is rolled. Buse still going. Wilson now. Gets a short kick, only as far as Hocking. Lewis heavily in on him. Hocking will head for the boundary line. And another throw-in.
Just shows you all the play that Geelong had in that forward line there for about 4 or 5 minutes. One good long kick with some pace out of that back line by Matera. The Eagles are down on their forward line.
31 plays 54. A margin of 23 points. Wilson contesting the throw-in. Heady tries to soccer off the ground. Buse has it held. So with 6 1/4 minutes remaining.
It's exactly what Geelong didn't want too, Sandy. They wanted a goal at the other end. Now they're really behind the 8 ball.
Couch could have been held. The umpire lets it go. He's opposing number 7 in Craig Turley. Cooper sees it over the line after Brennan got a touch.
Just got there, didn't he? Brennan had a second go at that. It was his mark.
So Hooper and Brennan. Brennan gets front spot. Bruns is there also, so too Buse and Lewis and Rogers. Bruns soccers off the ground. Only as far as Djakovic. He pumps it in towards full forward, but he's way off target. And again, out of bounds.
It's another thing, Ross, kicking with the wind, you can fall into that bombing away tactic, can't you?
A lot of players like to go for a tour from that area.
Darcy brings it back into play, a big pack of players. Waters was at the back. He's got support in Wilson. Hooks it round his body. Stoneham in to spoil. At the back, Steve Hock trying to thread a handball through to Rogers, but he's claimed and beautifully tackled. Brennan picks it up, shoots in towards full forward. Sumic at the back. Can't take the mark. Pressure now on Christensen. And he's pushed in the back.
He did that very well too, so he picked it up beautifully. He read the punch coming forward from Sumic, who was behind, and scooped that up on the run. Very difficult to do.
Marty Christensen in the left back pocket for Geelong. Kicks it out towards the 50-metre line. Hooper does well. Well done by the big man. Away to Buse. He's going to get caught by Matera. He's in all sorts of trouble. So was Rogers, but he kicked it quickly. The bounce favours Poole. Now the Cats have got to get something out of this. A great kick by Poole. Torpedo punt kick. Oh, Spencer falling over. Couldn't take the chest mark. And that could have nearly been out. No, he kept it in, and it's still in play.
If they're looking for a throw there, I'm sure Lockyer put it up with both hands.
And the umpire will bounce about 70 metres around from the Geelong goal. Need something out of this, the Cats. And Pike. The ball held to him there by Gary Hocking. And Bernie, Guy McKenna's in trouble, Bernie Quinlan.
Yes, it didn't appear to be a serious problem, but ice was applied to his left knee. He wasn't limping as he came off the ground, but precautionary measure, they have applied ice to that left knee.
Kick goes wide towards centre-half back. Waterman, he's got a player in support in the centre. It's Djakovic, but he goes long towards centre-half forward. Geelong must repel this one. They do through the big man, Hooper man, but the kick is awkward. It drops in short. Gary Hocking. Sweeping hand pass. Christensen up towards half forward. McIntosh gets back and takes the mark. And he's done a wonderful job across half back for an 18-year-old, Ashley McIntosh. Left foot kick, long towards centre wing. And nearly the mark to Djakovic. Picked up by Waters. Kicks it to centre half forward. Stephen Hocking out of position. Heady can't mark. And a free kick to Heady. Probably made it look a little worse than it was. But still, Heady has the free kick just wide of centre half forward.
Umpire Rowan saw was playing that for a push.
Now he could perhaps put this right into the goal square, which he has done. Long kick may carry. Into the square. Kick off the ground. No, Brennan misses it altogether. Stoneham can't stand up. Now he taps it. Wider. Matera has the football underneath him. Half. Handball over the head. Must be a throw. And that's the way it's deemed. And the free kick will go to Stoneham for Geelong.
2.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. In fact,
It's going to go back to
go
Poole.
back to Trevor Poole. From the back pocket. It's going to be very close to the boundary line. Not held by Hooper.
He's going to pay it, is he?
Well, he is going to pay.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
So some interesting ones today from umpires Dorr and Sawyers. It's Andrew Buse.
I'd hate to be in a Perth lounge room watching this. I think the West Coast supporters have gone absolutely berserk then.
Buse still across half back. It's up towards centre wing. Rogers couldn't take the mark. Worsfold, clever tap. Gains 7 or 8 metres for his team and then pushes over the line.
1 3/4 minutes. Can Geelong get a goal, Sandy?
It's a big ask. 4-7, plays 7-12. The ball on centre wing. in a low-scoring game. Bairstow tumbling a puck up towards half-forward. Lamb couldn't take it. Socket out of his hands almost. McIntosh has been impassable. Oh, but he runs into Worsfold. Spencer comes off his boot. Scott a charge. Here's the opportunity. Scott chips at goal. Can Lamb get there? No!
17 points, the West Coast lead. Gary Hocking. Geelong may get another one before three-quarter time. Oh, nearly a mark to Merriman. Kick off the ground, goes back towards the wing. Matera marks with under a minute left in the third quarter. So the Cats, their last attack breaking down. Matera will kick the West Coast into their forward half. A long kick to the 50-metre line. And a good mark taken by Heady. So maybe the West Coast are a chance to kick a goal before three-quarter time. Heady must kick it long, and he does. It'll go to the back of the pack. It may bounce through. It has. A goal to Heady.
What a clever kick too. Knew the goal scorer was vacant as Sumich led toward him, and he's kicked the 8th goal for the Eagles. It's heading and going back, let the lead go. See this mark again. Bruns trying to say the umpire, he got a fist on it. He went for a torpedo, we mentioned before, Robbo and I. Perhaps blokes being a little bit carefree with these kicks, but it was certainly a very fine pick from there, knowing the goal square was open, and the wet ground did the rest for him.
I think their key forwards planned that, to lead the players up the ground and leave the goal square empty, and he summed it up very well, Brett Heady. So with just 20 seconds left, Couch tries to get the ball to Bruns. It's chipped off there by Pike. Pike's kicked wide. Lewis leading in the race for the ball. Buse is with him, and Buse has got him. And he worries that player out of it. Still close to the boundary line. It goes over for a boundary throw-in. So it'll be right down to the line because there's a siren. It is three-quarter time in the preliminary final here at VFL Park. The West Coast lead by 23 points. They're 8-12-60, Geelong 5-7-37.
Joyce, Hawthorn coach, he knows he'll meet one of these sides next week. This is it, the final quarter. 23 points the margin. Burke on the ground has asked for a big effort. Bruns gets the first kick, but it's only short. It's pushed wide towards the wing by Waterman. Close to the boundary line. Geelong have the numbers. Do they know? Lewis. Kick is partly smothered. It was touched over the line, so we will have a throw. Can they hold on, Ross?
The Eagles, can they hold on? I think they can.
Certainly. Too much for Geelong to outscore them by 4 goals in wet conditions. Right. Bernie just mentioned the goals are going to be hard to come by.
Particularly when they've only kicked 5 in 3 quarters. We'll wait and see. Kemp tries to soccer off the ground. And he tries again and he succeeds, but only to put it out on the full. So Steve Hocking bring it back.
I think they needed to get some the ball away from the centre right at the start, just to give them a bit of a pep up. A pep up, isn't it, Ross?
Yep. It's amazing what it does.
To centre wing, Burke in front. Hart waiting down in. Gets a kick. Towards half forward. Heady and Steve Hocking. Buse over his body, but straight back to David Hart. He's still on centre wing, perhaps just a fraction forward of it. Towards the 50-metre line. The Eagles would love a goal here to set the scene. But it's not to be on that occasion as Peter Matera's kick is wide. He's kicked 32 goals for the season.
Hasn't done a bad job either with 15 possessions, Matera.
No, in fact, he averages just over 15 kicks a game. So he's right on target to achieve that again today. Lewis, outside 50, a little left foot stab towards Brennan, who's got time to kick it high, in towards the square. The battle here, no mark taken and socketed through defensively by 1 behind.
Well done there by Darcy. He's had a very good, very difficult task to do on Sumich, and he's done it pretty well. He's been prepared to attack the footy when it's come down quickly, and he's held his own on the one-on-one duels.
Well, surely there's no decision to be made here by Tim Darcy. He must kick it straight down the ground. Coming a little bit to this near side. Looking out here for Stoneham. He can't take the mark, but he recovers. And maybe taken to the ground by Lewis. He could be penalised now. No, Lewis looking for the free kick, but the umpire deciding to ball it up. Stoneham not happy with Lewis's tactics close in, but looked too much in it there. So 55 metres from the West Coast goal. The ball is thrown in the air. Geelong a chance to clear through Bruns. He gets through, and very, very well done by Neville Bruns, but there's no one home for Geelong. And that young man, Jakovic, marks on centre wing for the West Coast Eagles. Kemper's made position further afield, but Jakovic.
15 and 4, Robbo. He's had a great day.
Pretty good again. Did well against Jimmy Steins last week. The kick dropped short, punched away by Burke. Chance for Bruns. He can't get through, and the umpire will ball it up once again.
The other important factor there with Jakovic's stats too, Rob, he's had 9 marks in these conditions. It's a very good effort.
Yes, he seems to get where the football is, doesn't he?
Reads
it very well for a young man. Burke down to Buse. Buse's kick is quickly to half forward. No mark. Ball free. Gary Hocking gets through, and ball further to Bairstow. Bairstow off the left side. Kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Chance for Geelong. Scott caught. Taps it further afield. Off the ground by Merriman. It's going close to the goals. Back goes Lockyer, and he gives away a behind to Geelong, which in the circumstances was probably the wisest thing to do.
Yes, given their lead at the moment, certainly was the percentage thing to do.
23 points the margin. The Eagles standing firm. Lockyer's kick is a good one, given it's into the wind. And it's over the line with Matera and Merriman. Crowd today of 47,638. So they've still come out well despite the wintry conditions. But a disappointing crowd for a preliminary final. Willie Brownless, who may be looking at the end of his year. Hart, high kick, it's getting pretty dark. Merriman, a little stab in towards the pocket. Spencer needs someone going past, has him in Bairstow, who chips away at goal and kicks high.
Yeah, the idea was right there with Bairstow, trying to do a bit of a check side or screw kick for goal there. Just a little inaccurate. He's had a pretty good day too, Bairstow, 24 and 9, and with Turley shading him, it's been a very good job.
Yes, Mark Bairstow's season has been very good since coming back from the coaching job with Lake Grace in Western Australia.
Lockyer again. Again to the outer side. Jakovic couldn't take it. Hart runs into Bruns. Jakovic. Hart again. Towards centre wing. Barrage. He's got plenty of strength coming into this lineup at the expense of Hines.
Very importantly, Sandy, down to 20 minutes.
Yes.
Amazing how the time ticks away, isn't it?
Yes, and well, Geelong have got to beat the clock and the Eagles now. The West Coasters are looking good to go into their first grand final after coming in to the AFL and then VFL 5 years ago. It's a great performance and a credit to them. Buse not giving up yet, however, puts Geelong inside 50. The bouncing ball may give them a chance. The race is on. Mansfield comes second, however, and it's taken over the line. Their defence has been fantastic.
Very good.
And there's their leader, Johnny Worsfold.
And Ross, it's another stat that probably doesn't get credit to that, isn't it?
Just the
Worsfold
effort,
that effort.
the preparedness to get down and get that footy first and then knock it out of bounds. Defensively, a good effort.
Lockyer again sees it over the line.
It's more importantly, Rob, on days like today, it's those sort of things, as you say, that aren't a stat, that are very, very important.
Yes, you just have to come off hurting in every part of your body on a day like today, and the West Coast, if they can hang on, certainly will earn their victory. But it's not over yet. Geelong still struggling in their left forward pocket. Scott is trying to get rid of Johnny Worsfold. Gary Hocking there with the football. The umpire forced to throw it in the air once again. Spencer and Lockyer. Lockyer taps it towards the boundary line. And again by Worsfold. So we'll have another throw-in. West Coast not concerned at all about the seconds that are taken up by the boundary throw-ins. Their supporters have come out in their 10s and 20s and 30s, I suppose, to support them. And they've got good value. Once again, it's bashed straight over the boundary line. So we've got down to 18.5 minutes left in the game. 8-13 to 5-9.
I bet your life there'll be a few more here next week.
Spencer Lockyer again, just bashes it straight back over. They must bring Burke down into the action now.
He's putting himself down now, Robbo.
Surely. That's 4 boundary throw-ins or 5 boundary throw-ins in a row. And Burke must get in front to try and get the ball to the back of the pack. It's in front, but it's gone back over again. So, very, very non-productive period of play in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Let's see what happens this time. Burke plucks it out of the air, spins around in towards full forward. No mark taken. Neil got a quick hand to it. Spencer also a high hurried kick. It's close. It's a high. 5-10 plays 8-13.
Well done, Damien Burke, to get down there and at least try something different.
Michael Malthouse still looking pretty pensive about the entire situation. Lockyer. Well, that's heading towards the line. So Bruns will pump it back. 17 minutes plus remaining. Bruns' kick is only short, but it does put them inside 50. Couch tries to steal it. Hocking's at the bottom, and he does farm it out. He gets it clear to Scott. Scott shoots in towards goal and also misses.
Good effort there by Hocking. He really wanted the foot. He got out to Scott. It just shows you an indication of how greasy that ball is. Scott had a few seconds to steady because of its greasiness. Couldn't put on the boot correctly.
Robert Scott, 1 goal, 3. Back towards Burke and Bruns. Some shepherding going on behind play, allowed to be so. Neiled edged out of it. Paul at the bottom. Matera asked the question. Play on is the call. Spencer a chance. He's ripped into the ground. The umpire calls play on. Hocking soccers it towards full forward. Worsfold with strength gets it over to Heady, and Heady steadies it down, finding Scott Waters.
Amazing.
Gee, that should have been a free kick to Spencer.
Yeah, but the ball's been in Geelong's half-forward area for 10 minutes, hasn't it? And they haven't been able to score a goal, but Christensen now gets the hand pass away to Stephen Hocking. They must keep the tempo up, Geelong. Stephen Hocking's kick inside 50 metres. No mark taken. Ball at the back. Chance for Poole, and he's dogged it.
Well, this crowd has come to life. The Eagles have shown what a good side they are. Normally they've been able to reply moments later, but it's going to be Paul again who pumps Geelong deep into attack at full forward. No one waiting at the back. Now it's pushed down. A chance for Hart. A pressure kick. Gets it back towards centre half back. Jakovic is there. He's very cool in a crisis. Gives it across to Lamb, who kicks over the centre. Darcy caught behind. Barrett off the ground, down towards Brennan. With him is Spencer. They go to ground. Spencer taps it out well to Christensen. He's got a bit of room. Over the centre once more. Kemp unable to mark. Lamb again. Couple of telling possessions. In towards half forward. Hocking up with the one hand. Couldn't take it. Rogers paddles it clear. Hocking's under enormous pressure. They've got the numbers.
Free kick to wing leg for Hocking, or is it to Rogers?
Rogers or Darcy.
Darcy. Oh, you got it right.
Darcy to take it. It's that half back. For Geelong to have any hope, they've got to get the next goal. The Eagles would love one to really put a sealer on this game. Christensen again's got to beat 2. Now Lamb gives him help. Can he get clear? He's legged. The umpire says play on. Waters again remains pretty cool. Back to Hart. His kick is short, but it's effective. It finds Waterman on
Can't
centre
afford
wing.
to let the Eagles get a goal. The Eagles have got the ball on centre wing. If they get a goal, it'll be all over. The kick towards half forward. It's punched away, close to the boundary line. Geelong may keep it in. It's still there. And well done, Darcy. Tries a flip over. Still there's a chance. The ball there to be won. Piper's brought to the ground. Wilson has the football. The kick goes to half forward. Chance for Heady. A tired man is Paul Couch, but he gets around Sumich and he runs away with the football. Kick it quickly, Couch. He does. In towards the centre. Turley drops the mark. Still there. Big Neil Kick off the ground by Merriman. Up towards 50 metres. Geelong have got the numbers. They're little players getting into the game. Pike, handball wider, and the Eagles get clear through McIntosh. A handball. Lamb has it now, wide of the centre. The kick goes too wide. Darcy's a chance, and he takes them all away from half-back. Rogers long kick to centre half forward. It comes to the back. Geelong are a chance again. Stoneham. Back it goes to Bruns. He must kick it. Neville Bruns. It's close. It's there. It's touched on the line by Worsfold. And Johnny Worsfold, if you win the game, what a magnificent effort.
Gutsy stuff too. Barrage is off and McKenna's back on. Gee, a good kick there by Bruns.
And I wonder if that goal,
that's
that
right,
was not a goal earlier in the day, is going to come into play.
I knew you'd bring that up.
13 minutes left.
Lockyer to the outer side. Burke pulls down a good mark. Plays on with the left foot. Pumps it high. Back in towards Stoneham territory. Lockyer does well to fist it clear. Towards the boundary line it goes. It's going to be kept in play. Neil, no, there's a whistle. There's an Eagles free kick.
It's interesting because the ball would have gone out of play, but Matera elected to keep it in play, and he was fortunate to get the free kick there.
Peter Matera in the back pocket.
Gee, this is a risk.
They're tired now. And who can blame them? Lockyer. They've got the numbers, but it's Lamb who's got the pace. Outside 50, he stabs him towards Stoneham and finds him.
There's nothing wrong with the idea of going across goal, but it's just so very important that you make it come off up the ground and get it out of the attacking area.
Does that mean that Malcolm's getting a little excited? He's into the Alpines there, Ross.
Stoneham must kick this for Geelong for them to have a hope. He snuck it home. Only behind. Another chance. 49 plays 61. The margin is 12 points.
Still time.
Still time.
Just
Will we get a draw?
minutes.
2 goals, it's a draw.
Well, then we play extra time.
So let's worry about the next goal, huh?
Yes, McKenna goes to the outer side. The back is Hocking. They've had him covered pretty well today. Lamb, Hocking still in there, battling hard when it counts, however. Out it comes to Bairstow. He pumps it back in towards full forward. No one at the back, and it's hammered over the line for another throw in Geelong's right forward pocket. Michael Mansfield.
Irving getting ready to come back onto the ground for the West Coast. 11 minutes left.
Fresh legs could be handy.
Pressure time. McIntosh, probably best man on the ground, has done a tremendous job. Bairstow, can he get clear? He shrugs too. He swings round, but he swung too far. 2 kicks. 2 kicks.
Those points are all very valuable.
Well, Malcolm Blight said something about catching up on the behind scoreboard last week against Hawthorn, and now they're in front of the Eagles with the behinds. 6-14 to 8-13. Burke, can't mark. Bruns, Burke again. Into the action. Bruns underneath the pack. And has the football, but the umpire will ball it up.
So this is so crucial. The players pick up those legs and put them down again, and the players most prepared to do that.
Burke, Bruns has a chance. Deep. No, free kick, going to Pike. I thought it might have been a little high there, and Don Pike will have the free kick at half-back. It's about 50 metres from the Geelong goal, and he'll kick it now to... Oh, it's out on the full. Oh, what a crucial mistake there. Because Geelong, with the wind at their back, Couch will put this within goal-scoring distance. Runs around onto the left foot and kicks it to within 30 metres. Oh, Stoneham, chance for Scott. Oh, it's smothered. Mansfield. Oh, there's a chance. Neal's kicked the goal. This though, Sandy, they must get this centre bounce away.
9.5 minutes remaining. From the centre. Bruns and Burke at the bottom. Waters gets a short kick. Can the Eagles reply? They've been able to do so on many occasions today. They led at 22 points at quarter time. That stretched that to 27 by half time, and it had been cut to 23 at three-quarter time. Burke with a backhand flip. Good use of the body. Bairstow sees it wider. Bruns needs help. Gets it from Lamb. He's got to try and paddle it further forward. Matera can't take it. Tired bodies now. It's been desperate stuff. Still Matera. He gets a floating hand pass. Christensen gives it straight back to him. And he sends the Eagles up towards Sumic. If he takes a mark, they're in business. But he can't. He's got Heady for support. His kick is smothered. Lewis, a clever tap onto Sumic. He soccers off the ground. Which way will it bounce? Yes! The Eagles reply. 5 goals to Peter Sumic. That's 105 for the season.
Do some strong football in the half forward. Both teams putting their bodies in, really going to desperate stuff. Body to body, shepherding, smothering there. Darcy fantastic. And Sumic is a very clever kick. He could have picked it up. He probably didn't realise he had the time to do so. Finished off very well.
Burke. Bairstow leaves it behind. Kent gets his left foot to the ball, kicks it wide. Bruns leads in the race for the ball. It sits for him, and he gets his kick away up towards half forward. And Lamb will see it over for a boundary throw-in. The crowd calling for a free kick, but surely in this tight struggle to the line, the umpires will let the play go all the way in. Burke and Jakovic. Burke in front. Gets it down. Gary Hockey. Scott deep in the pocket. Scott goes for goal. Worsfold and Mansfield. Worsfold, well done. Lamb. Oh, down goes Merriman. Still the umpire to blow the whistle and eventually calls for a bounce about 20 metres from the Geelong goal.
It's interesting, that kicking in danger incident just there, if you want to call it that, was exactly the same as the free kick that was played down here on the flank the previous quarter.
There's our time clock. Burke, it favours him. He gets his foot to the ball. It kicks it close to the line and it bounces just inside the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in the right forward pocket for Geelong. They trail by 11 points. And it's been an absolute titanic struggle here at Waverley. West Coast Eagles getting off to a good start, leading by 22 points at quarter time. Burke again has the football. Gets his foot to it. Still close to the boundary line. Kick off the ground by Merriman, was it? Over into the opposite forward pocket, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
6 3/4 minutes remaining. Deep in Geelong's attacking zone. They trail by 11 points. A score needed, but it's Lamb, close to the boundary line. Bruns steals it, gets a short little kick, only as far as Worsfold, who pumps it back towards halfback. Couch forced to defend. Couch a chance again, but this time it's Hart. Spins out of trouble, swings up towards centre wing. Christensen held. Push towards the boundary line. Heady gives chase. His tackle is too high on Lamb. And the umpire says he'll have a ball up.
Watch this again. I think the arms came underneath. The arm there of Heady underneath.
Spencer has a look up forward. Pumps it long. In towards full forward he goes. No mark taken. Scott. Can he get clear? Robert Scott, the reject is back. He shoots him towards goal and he puts it through.
Burke going for the big bash. Out wide to half forward. Bairstow just a little late. McKenna, Poole, Pike, beaten for it by Couch. Here comes Scott. Has he livened up the game? Robert Scott to full forward. Stoneham, Mansfield falls over. Critical. Worsfold comes away with the footy. Back towards the centre. The mark is taken by Waters. He plays on. He can get the hand pass away. No, he goes for the kick. And the mark is taken. No, he drops it, Brennan. Kicks it across his body. Now the Geelong side under pressure again. Turley to Matera. Could have been deemed a throw. Matera's short pass. Lewis can't mark. Play on, says the umpire. They've swallowed their whistles. Matera. Still Geelong in the back line. Oh, Lewis has pinched it. There's a player on his own in the square. Sumic is going to get his sixth. Sumic has kicked six. Unbelievable scenes here at Waverley. Sumic is down, but West Coast have got their 10th goal and they lead again by 11 points.
So Tim Darcy a bit stiff there. He's picked the ball up, trying to keep it in play on the boundary line. Let's just watch quickly Sumic's kick here. The player coming across him. There was much in that at all. But it was Darcy trying to get the handball back into play to a teammate that in fact he miscued it. Allowed the Eagles through Lewis to set that up.
4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. And counting down. From the centre, Buddha Hocking. To half forward. No mark taken. Geelong need the next one rapidly. McKenna. Clever little kick. Chipping it out wide. Pike towards the boundary line. Tired legs, still pumping. And another throw in.
4 minutes.
Malcolm Blight. Perhaps feeling that that last goal could have been the final nail. Bruns is still battling. He's claimed by Lamb, but he gets the handball away. Does it again, but straight to Waters. Towards half forward, Wilson and Rogers. Wilson hammers it further afield. It goes over the line. He's gained probably 15 metres.
Well, they've had their chances, Geelong, haven't they?
Yep.
Got within a goal twice.
They kicked, what, 3 goals, 7 in this final quarter. The Eagles have it almost down to their 50-metre line. Rogers now under pressure from Wilson. Darcy comes in over the top, picks it up. Kicks back towards centre wing, but it's wide. It's out of bounds on the full. And so the Eagles, with under 3 minutes remaining, it'll be Brennan who will bring it back into play.
Brennan is about 3 kicks from goal. He kicks it up towards the 50-metre line. Rogers from behind punches it away. Close to the boundary line. It's pushed over in front of the small scoreboard, so we'll have a boundary throw in. Geelong need everything in their favour now because they've got to kick 2 goals in 2.5 minutes. And all players very tired. Burke and Jakovic. Burke gets the tap down, but it goes to Hart. Hart will run into an open goal and kick a goal. Back in the centre, just over 2 minutes left. Burke can't get at it. Kick off the ground, through Bruns' legs. Spencer must kick it off the ground. No, he misses it. Christensen. Handball to Bruns, who slips over. Brennan. Back it comes towards Christensen. Wilson has the football. Ball slips out of his hand. Hocking tries to shepherd for Couch. Wilson gets the football out, but Geelong are there through Rogers. A quick kick goes out to the wing. Waterman kicks it off the ground. Close to the boundary line, it goes over for a boundary throw in front of Bairstow. And the Eagles really not concerned at all about boundary throw-ins as the crowd starts to filter out of VFL Park. Geelong have put up a pretty good effort in this last quarter. Kent, kick off the ground. Chance for Scott again. Ball rebounds to Couch. Couch will kick it up to the 50-metre line. No mark taken. Back goes Worsfold with strength. He's pushed off the football. His kick has been marked. No, Hart drops it. Goes back to centre half back. Matera leaves it. Lamb gets around. Onto the right foot goes Jamie Lamb. A kick up to the goal front. Mansfield can't mark. Leaves it for Scott. Left foot shot by Scott hits the post. So Robert Scott has kicked 2 goals for. And Geelong trail by 16 points.
Robert, I'm sure that Malcolm Blight will be asking his players post-game why the effort they've given in this quarter wasn't given in the previous 3.
Ken Higley can only look on. Mark Lockyer having one of his final kicks back in for the day. The Eagles are going to create history. Bairstow doesn't give up yet. He pumps Geelong back into the forward line once more for another behind. They're going to march into their first grand final. Their opponents will be Hawthorn. The venue will be right here at VFL Park. Back into play once more. Brennan got the ride. Bruns at the back. Flicks it round his body. Up towards full forward. Waters is there to defend. His left foot kick is high. Still inside 50 for Geelong. Lamb may get them out. He does to Hart. He's running on, David Hart. Up over centre wing. Spencer leading in the race with Brennan. Spencer still going. Gets a little hand pass to gain some meterage. Steve Hocking is there. Goes over the line. With him is Brett Hetty. But that's the ball game. The West Coast Eagles are through to their first grand final in a wonderful display, a gritty fight. They withstood the challenge, and Michael Malthouse will guide his side next week against Hawthorn. The final scoreline here at the VFL Park shows the West Coast 11-13, 79, Geelong 8-16, 64. The eventual margin 15 points, and the Eagles, while allowing themselves a smile, still know there's work to be done. They've now become a very professional outfit, but they're rapt to have a chance at the flag.
Geelong's final score, Sandy, 8-16. Only just exceeded the Eagles' score at three-quarter time, 8-12. So really they would have had to have kept the Eagles, well, pretty well goalless in the last term to win the game. But they did kick 3-9 in the last quarter, which they could say cost them the game.
Damien Burke, Mark Bairstow. There's probably the best player on the ground, Ashley McIntosh, an 18-year-old who's come into senior football.
Well, they deserved their victory. They set it up, didn't they? In the first quarter, they kicked 4-6 to 1-2. And then they held Geelong in the second term, which was very important. Geelong only able to kick 1-4 with the breeze. And the Eagles kicked 2-3 against it. They led by 27 points at half-time and held on and won, well, quite well in the finish.
Yes, that final scoreline for you once again. West Coast Eagles 11-13, 79. Geelong 8-16, 64. 11-13, 79. Peter Sumich finished the day with 6. A fantastic performance in these conditions. Geelong gallant in defeat in the end, 8-16, 64. And gentlemen, despite a wonderful fighting finish by the Cats, it would appear the bird had flown.
Yes, I think when you look at the same number of scoring shots, Sandy, at the end of the game, they had their opportunities, and that last half, Robbo, what did they kick there in terms of goals
they kicked
to points?
6-10.
That's right.
And the Eagles kicked 5-4.
So the opportunities were there, but again, that forward line lacking that strike power without a Brownless, perhaps an Ablett, or maybe even a Hinkley. It just felt out, even though Neil did a couple of very good things in that last quarter, it just lacked the real class that was required. This is the setup by Hocking, where he kept his feet and drove that ball deep into the forward line, and this is where we get a fine finish off by Poole. He had a pretty reasonable day on Matera on the wing, I thought.
Yes, it's amazing that you just haven't got the options when you've got 2 or 3 of your key players out. You can't swap them.
You lack that flexibility. So he had Stone full forward, centre half back to centre half forward, and he had a very good. He had a hard time early on McIntosh. And that just made it difficult. He just lacked that ability to throw his players around.
Actually, Stoneham, for Barry Stoneham, was fairly quiet.
It was actually, yes. I was just thinking, looking at this goal from Sumich, a good tackle. It's the second time that Lewis created a goal for Sumich. It was his most accurate day almost for the season. Kicked 6-1 and kicked 106.88 for the season. So he's had a fair few shots at goal.
Now, Malcolm Blight, surely they'd be disappointed, but their team showed a bit of character, didn't they? I thought that there were probably 2 or 3 times in the third quarter that they looked as though they could have been belted.
That's right.
But in the finish, they got to within 5 points twice.
And I think I mentioned through the commentary, Robbo, later on in the game, where I'm sure you'll ask a few of the players, why weren't you giving that effort in the first half, and then halfway through the third quarter particularly, that you gave in the last quarter that really made the difference to get them so close.
I got the feeling that it wasn't necessarily Geelong lifting. I thought the Eagles just slipped into a little bit of lethargy in the third term. When Geelong really had to lift and make a game of it, kicking against the breeze in the third quarter, I just got the feeling that the West Coast went off the boil a little bit. Geelong, to their credit, got quite a few possessions. That's the final quarter stats. But in the third term, Geelong were well and truly on top, and that was when they gave themselves some chance of winning the game.
Yes, and again you see the stats there and knockouts, particularly dominated by Burke. But Jakob finished with, as his opposing ruckman, about 16-6 plus 10 marks. His effectiveness around the ground was terrific.
Yeah, I thought Burke played very, very well. And you mentioned Jakovic. Jakovic is sort of moulding himself a little bit like Jimmy Steins, isn't he? Getting kicks around the ground. You mentioned that. And one of the important kicks in the finish was, you mentioned about David Hart getting the ball and kicking that good goal.
Well, it was just his driving pace. He ended up with 20 kicks for the day, and his pace and ability to go across the ground was terrific.
The Seven Sport team will select the top 5 marks of the year. The Big 5 will be shown during Seven's Grand Final Day telecast. Viewers in each state will be given a phone number to ring to vote for their favourite mark of the year. By phoning in, you'll be eligible to win a fabulous prize, a Mitsubishi Magna. And the player who's nominated as taking the mark of the year will also win a Mitsubishi Magna.
Yes, there have been some great grabs throughout the year. Now the job is up to you. The Eagles home by 15 points into the grand final against Hawthorn. We had a crowd of almost 48,000 here today. They braved some pretty wintry conditions, but they certainly love their football. But there's a gentleman up the bush who loves his football probably more than any of us.